Lagos State branch, and they are really, really keen at making the urban space in Lagos and by extension Nigeria properly planned. You're welcome. My name is Victor Oteri. All right, so today we're going to be looking at land tenure systems. We're Xraying it, and we'll be looking at the role that surveyors play in eliminating land scams. All right, before now, we've touched base with fraudulent practices on how you can call out those surveyors who are not doing the right thing. But the association is very, very keen at eliminating quackery, and that's why we're going to be focusing on that on the program this morning. Before then, let's get back to the roads and let you in on the traffic situation. Most of the areas where we're having wave of traffic earlier on, it's subsiding, especially around the Lagos-Abeokuta Expressway corridor. Getting better right now. Of course, you might still have the backlog somewhere around that's Ilazik, but it's not so much of a worry around that location. That's Ilazik inwards Ikeja along down to National. Slow and steady, that's the name of the game. Beyond that point, inwards Airport U-turn, things are much better there. Down to Oshodi is looking good. All right, those of you making the journey to the island, the Third Belan Bridge is still very accessible. We had rains pouring earlier on around Alakbere, yes, but I hope that should be subsided. Also, Ikorodu Road is also receiving with very fair kind of movement as well. And then we can tell you Cobridge inwards Akpogbon is still a slow and steady kind of experience that you are witnessing. So we'll be serving you more helpings as they come in from time to time. All right, so like I said, we're Xraying land tenure systems and the surveyor's role in eliminating land scams in Nigeria. 2 weeks back, we talked about fraudulent practices, wherein APPSN is saying that you must be very vigilant before you give your work to any surveyor. But let me bring in my guests. They're going to be talking us through all of this morning, and then we can have some knowledge as it relates to this. Surveyor Titi is here. That's Surveyor Titi Amoo, who is a member Nigerian Institution of Surveyors, and she's going to be talking us through this conversation this morning. Surveyor Amoo, nice to have you in the building. Good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Victor.
And how are you doing?
I'm doing fine.
You're welcome to this program.
Thank you.
All right, she's been joined by Surveyor, that's Kuroloja, is that correct?
Yeah, you are correct.
Surveyor Kuroloja Aderibigbe, who is also a member of Nigerian Institution of Surveyors. You're welcome.
Thank you, Mr. Victor.
All right.
It's a pleasure.
Okay, so I know that the aim of this program is to educate Nigerians on what you guys do and how you've been doing this. Before we even talk about land tenure systems, because that's a very, very technical aspect, and I know you guys are going to be breaking that down for us. But in terms of people really, really making use of the right surveyors, and I'm going to start with you, Surveyor Kuroloja. What has been the experience so far? Are people really, really coming around to say, well, this is what I want and this who I want to do it? Is that what's happening right now?
Thank you, Mr. Victor. The challenge we have in the land space, especially about surveying, is that people are not well informed about who to approach for their land matters. And as a result of that, innocently, masses are just being defrauded and they patronize quack. So for now, that's why we have this sensitization to let the masses know that you need to employ the right hand for the right job. So we know with time we are going to close that gap.
All right, and that's why you guys are here, really.
Yeah.
So, how will I know if a particular surveyor is a quack? I mean, it's not someone who's genuine. What are the signs that would show?
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Victor. The first thing that dealing with a surveyor, the first thing that you ask the surveyor, don't meet the surveyor by the roadside.
Okay.
Ensure that you have a meeting with the surveyor in his or her office. By that, when you enter the office of a surveyor, you will have the certificate, the second certificate, right there in his office or her office. Then you have the MNIS certificate as well in the office. So, and again, when you give a survey job to a surveyor, and by the time he's bringing the survey plan to you, the person that collected money from you, you are not seeing the name.
All right.
His name on the survey plan. You should check out.
Okay. One should check all those things out.
Yes.
Okay, but let me give you another scenario. Surveyor Aderibigbe, in these days, in this time and age, you have most of these estates that are handled by developers. You know, you have real estate companies. They're doing so much, right? And all they want to do is you just pay for the land. They will tell you they will do the survey and all of that. So in that kind of a scenario, I don't know the surveyor. How will we know if the developer is engaging with a professional, a well-certified surveyor?
Okay, thank you, Mr. Victor. This challenge has been on ground for a long time. We need to straighten it up. In property developers supposed to have a registered surveyor in their team. So if we do that, then we're going to curb that. We'll be having that challenge for a very long time. Most of the challenges we have now is the property developers engaging a quack surveyor to get a survey done by a right surveyor. So in the process, you discover that you have like about 3 parties involved in that survey. So the best thing is that we get a surveyor to be part of the team of the property managers. So all the realtors should have a surveyor, a registered surveyor.
All right.
So we trust God that with time that policy will be put in place.
So for me, who I'm just buying the land, I'm an innocent person. So what am I supposed to do in that kind of? Am I supposed to say I would like to meet with the surveyor who's on the team?
No. What you are to do, because there's also a legal party in that transaction, which is part of that real estate managers.
Okay.
So that lawyer is the one you are going to meet with, because the interaction between allottees and the realtors, just the lawyer in between. So it's the lawyer that is to engage you and make sure that you are patronizing the right surveyor.
All right. Yeah. So surveyor, even before I buy the land, would it be wise for me to come to a surveyor?
Yes, sir. Before you, in fact, on any land transaction, the first contact is the surveyor.
You mean it?
Yes. If you want to get a parcel of land, you have to get in touch with a registered surveyor. You engage him or her, take him.
Why is that so? Why is that necessary?
Yeah, that's where I'm going. You take the person to the site. You will have to pick some coordinate for check-ins. Maybe the parcel they are even selling for you is the setback that government have assigned for a
particular project.
Yes. So you have all these things you have to be put in check so that you will not fall a victim of scam.
So I'm supposed to come to a surveyor first.
Yes.
The moment I have that interest of saying I want to buy a land, I should get in touch with a surveyor who can help me to come and say, look, I can do a coordinate check for you. Is that the way it is?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right, let's get into the focus of the morning now. So, Surveyor Aderibigbe, the concept of land tenure systems in Nigeria, I need you to break it down for our listeners. When we talk about land tenure systems, what are we referring to?
Okay. In a nutshell, before colonial era, pre-colonial, we have, we know that land is an important resource in the land. So, in our country and all over the world, the demand for land is quite huge. So as a result of that now, pre-colonial and during colonial, there have been issues surrounding land. So, and in 1978, we have Land Use Act, which actually talks about land ownership.
Right.
And those lands need to also attach with uses. So,
I need to get closer to that microphone.
When lands are attached with different uses, so that was the concept of land tenure.
Okay.
So the land tenure was to say, okay, the land in Land Act used in 1978,
right,
vested all land in the states to the governor. So as a result of that, now lands are in different use. So land ownership now becomes a challenging thing. So many people just go to buy land today without understanding that land has different uses, and as a result of that, they buy wrong lands for different uses. So that is what actually brought about this land tenure.
All right.
So to regulate and minimize disputes amidst the populace.
All right. So by tenureship, are we talking about the length of time one can own the land? Is that the way it is?
Yes, it's one. Tenureship is one about how long you can hold the land, because since the land has been vested to the governor to hold
in
trust for the people. So as a result of that, governor will release, we call it governor's consent.
Okay.
We release that land for the use of that person based on the use of that zone for a particular period of time.
Right. So Amoo, how can we now know the uses of each land? Let's look at Lagos, for instance. Are there ways one can identify the use of each land?
Yes. The first thing is when you have contacted your surveyor, the surveyor will do his check-ins to know the zone that the parcel of land falls in. So after that, you'll be able to know if this parcel of land is set aside for residential. Some parcels are set aside for industrial estates. So by that, it's only your surveyor that will be able to tell you, to advise you that this parcel of land you're about to get is for residential area, and that is for industrial estates.
Ah, wow. So the surveyor can identify where any of this falls?
Yes, through check-ins from the Office of the Surveyor General.
All right. So I'm curious, these tenure systems in Nigeria, how do they impact on land ownership? And I need Surveyor Aderibigbe to shed more light on this, the tenure systems that we're talking about.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Victor. We've seen that the tenure system is a way by which we bring peace and harmony among the masses, among the people. So the governor is to release a certain part of land depending on the transaction that has gone beyond, either between the landowners, the initial owner of that land, to the new owner that is buying that land.
All right.
So the impact on the masses is to coordinate harmony among the masses. So we've noticed that after some time there have been transactions. After, I have gotten a consent from the governor as an individual who has gotten the land, and I have a consent from the governor. So after a period of time, I am to keep that land for 99 years.
So I wanted you to talk about that. Really,
I have to keep that land for 99.
So it's a lease.
It's a lease. We have, in land tenure structure.
Okay.
There is a freehold. There is a leasehold.
Okay, explain this too for us. So
there's a freehold. Freehold, they are the lands that are not under government's purview.
Purview. Right.
So they are not under government's purview. You can get that land from the community, and the community can give you a document. You don't need any
governor's
consent. But what you get from that land is customary certificates that will give you a period of time too.
Oh, it's also
yes.
It's also tenured.
It's also tenured. So that's why it's under tenure structure.
Okay.
So, but that of government, you need a governor's consent. So by the time you have that of governor's consent, if you now want to sell that land for another person within that period, you still need a document from government.
All right. So now the freehold is from communities.
It's from communities.
While the lease is from government.
Yeah.
Now the tenure for both, is it 100
yes,
99
years
for both of them?
Yeah.
So after 99 years, that land ceases to be yours.
Yes, you need to do a renewal.
Or revalidation, as the case may be.
Yes, as case may be.
Okay. All right. So we need to get that clearly. So in lease, let's assume a land was given to perhaps your grandfather in 1925, for instance. By this year, that land ceases to be your grandfather's. It's going back to the government. Is that the way it is?
Yeah. Yes. If you look at what is happening in Lagos now,
right.
The lands department, what they do now is to do review of those survey that has been done in the past. So we discovered that so many people keeps CFO and they keep it in their wardrobe.
Okay.
And they don't know that that survey needs to be worked upon. And they need to work on that survey. That's the work of a surveyor.
So let's get back to that now, Surveyor Amoo. Maybe you can just, come in here at this point. So are you saying it is dangerous for me to just go keep my survey without making recourse to it as time goes on?
Yeah, your survey plan, you have to, after 5 years, you as a owner of a parcel, because in the next 5 years, this environment, for example, many developments will have entered into this environment. So as a owner of a property that you have done your survey plan, in the next 5 years or thereabout, you have to do an update, because a survey you did 5 years ago maybe is a proposed street, and by now you have a street name or some other structures that are not in place at that time. So you have to do an update on your survey. So that update, yes, that update you have to do, and the surveyor will do the lodgement just to to keep the updates in records of the state government.
So are you saying now that every 5 years people should update their survey plan?
Yes, sir.
Is that the rule?
According to maybe my senior colleague can
shed light on that.
Yes, sir.
All right, so Aderibigbe, you need to enlighten our listener this morning. Are you saying every 5 years we're supposed to update our survey plan?
Actually, the structure on ground is within 10 years.
Okay.
It's not within 5, because we.
But if you want to do that in 5 years, you can.
Yes, you can, because of developments going on.
Right. The rapid urbanization that we're seeing.
Yeah.
All right. So in terms of land tenures, I just need you to also talk to us. Historical and the cultural factors, do they influence land tenure systems?
Yes. Greatly impacted on land tenure system. We've had in the past that as a result of the history, I was talking about the pre-colonial, the colonial era the other time, and the history that we have had between the communal settings. So that has affected so much on the land tenure system. Most of the problem we have today that has to do with land grabbing issue has been as a result of what happened in the people are not following the land tenure system that has been put on ground.
Okay.
The Land Use Act in 1978 has actually put different land into different use, different zones, so as to bring calmness among the populace. So that, but because of the communal interest that people are having, the history, my father has been on this land for a very long time.
Right. We
are the owner of this land, and this thing cannot be, and that has been a challenge. So when you have a land that is under a particular use, the people who has the history, they will tell you that since we know the history of the land, we are the owner of the land. Okay. Now, as a result of that, it has affected the structure that the government has put on ground.
All right, we have a call.
Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning. What's your name?
I'm Ibrahim.
Ibrahim, we're talking land issues this morning, and majorly we're talking about the land tenure systems in Nigeria and the kind of scams that could come out of it. So, what's your question, Ibrahim? Where are you calling from, by the way?
I'm calling from K2.
All right, Ibrahim, go ahead.
My question is for someone like me that we're still hoping to get buy land in the future. So, how do we prevent ourselves from falling into land scams?
Okay, very pertinent question. Yes. All right, thank you so much, Ibrahim.
Thank you.
All right, even though we've not been able to touch base with the land scams and all of that, but maybe you just want to answer his question directly?
Yes, sir.
Yes, go ahead, Surveyor Amoo.
Yeah, like we have been doing here on this program, the first contact is your surveyor. Make sure you have a registered surveyor, not a quack. A quack will mislead you just because of the token that he wants to get from you. So make sure that you contact a registered surveyor. It will guide you as to the size of the land that they want to sell for you, the location of the land, and It will give you a detailed advice. Go ahead with the survey, or do not go ahead with the purchase of the land, or do not, just hold on. So the right thing to do is just to get your registered surveyor on
and then
ground.
to give you the proper advice.
Yes, sir.
All right. So Aderibigbe, is there a standard measurement for all lands that are standard across?
Yes, we have standard measurements. As you know that lands are measured in either we are looking at the size in square meters or in acres or in hectares. So depending on but if you are looking at a plot of land, the standard measurement for a plot of land is 18.3 by 36.6. 18.3 by 36.6. Okay. That's the standard measurement for a land. And that is what parents in those days, when we were still under the colonial, we call it 60 by 120.
60 by 120.
That's feet.
Oh, okay.
60 by 120 feet.
Okay, that's the one we all understand.
So, but if you are buying land today, please insist on meter measurement. So, 18.3 by 36.6.
18.3 by 36.6
meters.
All right, so that's still the same as 120 by 60, right?
60 by 120, yeah.
Well, what we find now, people tell you 100 by 50 or something.
Yes.
Is that a shortcut?
You mentioned mass urbanization the other time.
Yes.
People get to look at the size of land that you need to have, and because of many uses that they also need to provide for you within that location of land. For example, this came about as a result of all these property realtors, property estates that we have around.
Right.
So they're going to make a provision for pool, make provision for recreation, for supermart within that same system. So they believe that you cannot have eat your cake and still have it. So as a result of that, they will give you 100 by 50.
So can I argue that and say, look, no, the standard is 120 by 60. Is that possible?
It's possible, but if you want to sign agreement with them, you must also read clearly the terms. So if you sign that you agree with this transaction, then you have also agreed with all the documentation in that time.
Let's talk about some of the common scams that people see for lands, not just in Lagos but across the country right now. What are some of those land scams? Can we itemize them?
Like on area of land, they might sell like we just mentioned now, that for a standard plot you have 18.3 by 36.6,
right? And
they might present to you half of that plot.
Okay.
They present it to you and give it to you as a standard plot. So you have to check, and for you, as you are not familiar. Yes, you don't know. They just give it to you and you take it. You don't know about it. That's why you have to have your surveyor. And also the area they are selling for you, they might give you a survey plan that for example now in Mushin,
right,
they give you a survey plan of Mushin, whereas where you are is Idioro.
Wow.
In Mushin.
So you must be able to get the right information.
The right information about the land.
All right. 08099120777, 09153877127. If you want to ask any question, like Ibrahim has done, feel free. Some messages are streaming in here for you. This one says, "Good morning. I bought a land in Ibejuleki, but another family is now claiming it. Can surveyors help prevent this type of land double sale?" This is Oluwaseun sending this one. Oluwaseun, thank you so much. So is that possible? Can you guys prevent that?
Okay, thank you. That is one of the scam that we have around. That we have two individuals selling same land to one party. So it's been a challenge. Yes, surveyor can help a little on that. So since we know that surveyor is to determine whether the land you are buying is the size, is at the same location that they are giving you, and also start making sure that you have the coordinates well placed on that spot. But at the same time, there are some verification that we do as surveyors. We call it land searches. So we can visit lands. Ministry of Lands,
right.
last burial to know the families that have been on that land before now. So many people just buy land because someone just introduced the land to them without even involving their surveyor. The surveyor is the number one person to take along to get your land. So they will be able to check and be sure you are buying from the right
This
family.
one says, good morning, Victor. Why do we still have Omonile problems despite surveys and land titles? You didn't put your name, but thank you so much. Omonile, is that the problem that can be eradicated in any form? Surveyor Amoo, do you think we can eradicate Omonile?
Yeah, like we mentioned this morning, the communal, settings. So with communal settings, we cannot totally eradicate
them.
Omonile issue.
All right. Those are the land grabbers, right?
Yes.
I know the Lagos government, they have a committee against that, and they've been working in that regard. Another message here says, good morning, TGIF. I bought a land through a cooperative. Do I still need a personal survey plan? Tosin, sending that one in from Ogudu. Tosin, thank you so much.
Yeah. If you buy land through a cooperative, that cooperative is an organized setting.
Okay.
They have their own surveyor. Every cooperative should have a surveyor that has done the boundary of that area of space that they are selling to you.
Okay.
So if they have sold a portion to you, like Mr. Tosin is asking, if you have a plot of land sold to you by a cooperative, the cooperative part of the agreement you have with them might be to say, okay, we are going to produce a survey plan for you. So they will contact their surveyor to produce that survey plan. But if that cooperative does not have a structure for survey for you, then you need to engage your surveyor. Then I will also advise every
listener,
that you don't just say because we have a cooperative and you just subscribe to the land for within that cooperative.
So
setting.
once they show you the land.
Yes, once you are interested in buying the land from your cooperative, involve your surveyor.
Okay.
So your surveyor will be there and check and give you
all right.
expert advice.
Gradually winding to the end of the program. This one says, good morning, Victor, and the surveyors in the studios say, how do I confirm that the person claiming to be a surveyor is truly licensed? Ezine Obi is sending that one. Ezine, thank you so much for that. So how can one confirm? I know you guys have said this before, but Surveyor Amoo, how can someone confirm that the person claiming to be a surveyor?
Yeah, we have a platform that the public can check if a surveyor is a genuine surveyor or a registered surveyor. Like every first quarter of the year.
Let's take this call. Hello there.
Good morning again, Victor.
Yeah.
Daniel on the line.
Comrade Daniel, it's nice to hear from you. Good morning.
Thank you very much. Good morning, honorable surveyors in the studio.
Good morning.
Good morning.
All right. Yes, my question is that what is the relationship with the Institute Surveyor with the School of Surveyor? Because I know people study surveyor in the university and the polytechnic. What's the relationship?
Okay.
Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you so much. The relationship between the MNIS and, of course, your association to the schools where they offer surveying. What relationship do you have, Aderibigbe?
Okay, thank you. We have a cordial relationship because we also went through the school.
Okay.
Before we have NIS.
All right.
NIS is the body that is a platform for all surveyors. Either you are in public, you are in institution, and you are private practice. So NIS is the body that brings all of us together. So we have these arms of NIS, the institutional arms, the professional arms,
okay,
and the public servants who are workers with government, either in any parastatals. So NIS is like the mother of all.
All right.
So the relationship has been cordial and has been very relational.
All right, let's just close this one in. Hello there, good morning. Hello.
Hello.
Yeah, good morning. Good morning.
Am I live on radio?
Yes, you are live on radio. What's your name?
My name is Bella.
Your name is?
Biola.
Biola, okay. Go ahead, Biola. Okay, guess we lost the line to Biola.
Okay, let me just conclude on that.
Yes.
So we've been supporting the institution, either supporting them with instruments, supporting them with facilities that could help us produce good surveyors in the future.
Right.
So, and they also will have a platform for internship for them. So after they are in school, they come, we take them as surveyor learning that process for a very long time, so as for them to also be able to.
Let's begin to round off right now. But this question is popping in. It says, my friend bought a land from a community head, but later found it belonged to the government. Could a proper survey have prevented this? Tunde, he sent this one in from Lekki. Tunde, thank you so much. So, but that could have been prevented, right?
Yes, sir, that could have been prevented, because if we have taken the surveyor to the site, he would know that this parcel of land is falls within government acquisition. He will have give an expertise advice to the person.
All right.
So like I was saying, let me complete. Okay.
Yes, go quickly.
So we have a platform to check for a registered surveyor, and also you can also walk into our office here at Asbifi Road. Okay. To check, we have our office there at CMD Road. Right. So you can walk into, just ask of APPSN office, and then you can make your findings there. All right. Then
I'm sure this particular subject will try and continue next week, because there are lots of scams that relates to land tenure and of course the systems that we have, and that's the reason we have to revisit this subject. But gentleman and lady, let me say a big thank you to both of you for making it through the program this month. Surveyor Titi, Amoo, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you, sir.
And Surveyor Aderibigbe, Kuroloja, right?
Yes, sir.
Your name is very powerful.
Thank you, Mr. Victor.
Nice having you in the building.
I appreciate that.
Okay, then. So both of them, they are members of the Association of Private Practicing Surveyors of Nigeria. And this morning, they've been able to take us to the classroom on land tenure systems and the surveyor's role in eliminating land scams in Nigeria. We have to go. Mike James has produced the program. I say a big thank you to the interns in the studios. Maximum shout out going out to Remy Aluko of our social media team. Our executive producer is Tayo Akonle. My name is Victor Oteri. Have a splendid weekend. Bye. You're gonna get much more.